Hey everybody, Conscious Medium Brandon Russ, thanks so much for joining me today. Come for the readings, but stay for the elevation. It's time to raise your consciousness as we take a look at 3 phrases that we often misuse, and we don't realize that we're hurting our own consciousness. Number 1, I'm not going to feel guilty about this. This is one of those that you are just backing yourself out of that driveway of responsibility when it comes to the other person. What you're really doing is you're literally telling them that you don't care. By the way, that's not a good way to elevate your consciousness. What we do, in fact, do is we express the idea that we are feeling emotions and that we don't like them. That's literally what you're saying to them. Instead of saying, I'm not going to feel guilty about this, why not address it? Why not hit it head on and simply say, I'm not really comfortable with this, or maybe this doesn't serve my higher good and I can't put the emotional value into it that you think I should. I'm just giving you a heads up now. I'm backing out of the driveway and I'm heading the hell out of Dodge. That is a little more acceptable, and you might have helped your own consciousness. The idea of saying, I'm not going to feel guilty about this, robs you of your own emotional value in other situations. That's why you never want to stunt your own growth when it comes to these things. By being able to express this to them, you let them know how you feel, and you are no longer bound by feeling, well, guilty. By the way, no guilt was harmed in filming this video. Number 2, karma is gonna get you. Now, this is one of those age-old appropriate thing that we learn somewhere along the lines where we're like, karma, what's that? You mean karma is like some sort of retribution tool or whatever the case may be? Well, no, actually it's not, although it is popular to think that it is. What karma really is the opportunity to learn lessons, and then it's up to us to either apply a new technique, a new way of thinking, or a new action for us to show that we have actually learned said lesson. However, some of you treat it like a scorecard, like some sort of demonic thing is going to happen to them, like something terrible or torturous. By the way, that's not healthy, and that doesn't raise your consciousness. Instead of talking about karma, why not point out their cycle? Clearly, they've made those mistakes before, and you standing over them and gloating isn't helping your own path. But you could take this opportunity and help them on theirs. Why not show them that maybe they could use a different way of looking at things? Maybe they could approach it a little bit differently, and maybe they've just never really understood how stuck they were. So if you want to sit back and watch someone feel karma or have karma come back again, you're kind of a sadist. Don't do that. It's not good for your consciousness. What is good for your consciousness is if you take a moment and point it out to them, not in a way of saying, haha, I told you so, but moreover to be able to say, don't you see this and I care enough about you to point it out to you? By the way, that's how you elevate your consciousness. Number 3, thoughts and prayers. Oh, talk about getting out of a squirrely situation. Now, I know you're an empath and I know you care, but is there anything less feeling than when you say thoughts and prayers? Now, listen, all due respect, sometimes there are things too big for us to really kind of tackle. But I'm talking about when you use thoughts and prayers for someone that you actually know, say for a loss or a situation that they're in. In that moment, it's really kind of go time if you want to elevate your consciousness. An opportunity that you have here is to be able to express what you know about the situation and help them in it. And I'll give a great example. If someone passes away and it's someone that you knew close enough to know their family or what have you, simply say, hey, I remember this story about them. One of my favorite memories was this. I remember them when I was a child, or whatever your situation or your influence is. You're actually sharing a thought and a prayer with them instead of using the blanketed thoughts and prayers. Now, the negative connotation to this and why it doesn't raise your consciousness is you're literally just saying, I will say anything or do anything to get out of this situation. Your thoughts and prayers, albeit a great way to get out of the conversation, it doesn't help. It's actually a little patronizing, especially if you know the person and the situation. Why not share a story? Why not let them know that a thought or a prayer, literally, specifically, is something that may help them through this moment? Last but not least, you want to be able to detach yourself from this. So you say thoughts and prayers and run in the other way. You are literally robbing yourself from feeling any emotion, and you're robbing your own grief. By the way, grief and bereavement is something we do terrible in the United States and, quite frankly, around the world. We don't fully understand it, and when thoughts and prayers are used when it comes to someone's passing, boy, we just pull that out and we never wrestle with those emotions. You stunt your own growth if you don't explore those things and share those memories. So if you want to back out of the parking lot and run the other way, thoughts and prayers. If you want to actually help them, want to share a funny story and elevate the energy of the moment. Yes, they're in grief, and yes, it's a pebble in the water, but those ripples will be felt as they go back and they read, and that will help them through this time. All right, everybody, I am Conscious Medium Brandon Ross, and thank you so much for coming along. I want to thank you for peering in over my shoulder through this whole thing. And I want to give each other the heart tap to tell one another we love and care for each other, and remind you to simply keep going. I'll see you guys soon. Come for the readings. Stay for the elevation. Conscious Medium Brandon Ross.